Hello students. In the previous video class in English subject, we had discussed about the part of speech, one part of speech, that was the verb. And I hope you must have understood what is part of speech, and there are 8 part of speech, and out of that we discussed the one part, that was verb. And now continuing with that topic, now we are going further with the same topic, verb. So, verb, as I had told in the previous video, that verb is very essential part of sentence. And in English grammar, also verb is very important and very crucial part, which changes the forms of the sentences and which changes the form of the tenses, and according to the time it makes the change. So, first of all, we must understand the use of verb. So, in verb part, we had started with the finite and non-finite verb. If you remember, we discussed the two categories, two parts of verb. Those were finite and non-finite verb. And in finite verb, as I told that there are 5 forms of verb, and namely like present, past, past participle, present participle, or infinitive. So, in finite verb, we keep present and the past form. In non-finite part, we keep the past participle, present participle, and infinitive form. Once again, in short, I write here. If we talk about the categories of verb, we divide it into two part, finite or non-finite. In finite, I told we keep the present and the past forms, as we have 5 forms of verbs. So, present and past form. You can say first or second. And in non-finite, we keep past participle, present participle, or infinitive. Well, so 3, 4, 5. Well, so these two forms of verb we keep in finite verb, and the 3 we keep in the non-finite verb. Now, continuing this topic, today we are going to discuss about subject verb agreement. So, whenever we write any sentence, whenever we speak any sentence, we start a sentence with a subject. Means when we begin any sentence, we need a subject. It can be noun, pronoun, or sometimes present participle verb as a gerund. So, we call it a subject of the verb. So, every verb, for making the complete sentence, needs a subject. And as I had told, when we talk about the complete sentence, a complete sentence is a group of words which makes the complete sense. And when we talk about the sentence, it requires, complete sentence always requires 2 things, 2 parts, subject and verb. So, today here we are going to discuss about subject and verb agreement. So, I told you that when we talk about use of verb, with the subject we only can use finite verb. With subject we cannot use non-finite verbs. And with the one example I told you in the previous class, once again I remind you, like I take one example of the subject and verb. I ask, okay, I asked, I have asked, I should ask, I do not ask, do you ask? Well, see, subject and verb agreement. Suppose I take the example of this one form, ask, for example, and I write the 5 forms of this verb: present, ask, as, past, asked, PP, asked, PRP, asking, or infinitive, again ask or to ask. Well, now see, these are the present form, past participle, present participle, infinitive. And I have taken the example to make you understand ask. So let's see subject and verb agreement, how we use a verb with the subject, and that is finite verb. We always, when either we speak or we write, we use finite verb with the subject. Okay. Now see, you just see from these 5 forms which verb I have used here with the subject. If I use only these 2, these are finite, these 3 are non-finite. So now see, I have told we use finite verb with the subject. It means in subject and verb agreement we use finite verb. Now let's check whether whatever I am saying, telling, is it right or not. See, I ask, ask is there, so it's finite. I asked, I asked, past, again finite. I have asked. Oh, now it is something confusing for you now. See, asked form, I have asked. Again this asked, this is asked, this is past, this is again asked, this is past participle. So now here you might be thinking that now I have used here this verb asked. Is it past or past participle? Because looking wise, these 2 are they look alike. So there is no difference in these 2 forms, and this is called past, this is past participle. So now this thing is a bit confusing and can make you confused, but students need not be confused. The very simple concept I have told you. Now see, this is asked, but before asked there is have. What I told you in subject and verb agreement, that we use the finite verb. If you remember, you go to the previous video, we use with the subject only finite verb. Okay. So if the verb is with the subject, it means it is finite. If it is not with the subject, it is not finite, it is non-finite. One more thing, sometimes there can be questions, the sentence is in question form, So there again somewhat I tell you again that the first verb in a sentence, the first verb in a sentence is always finite and the rest of the verbs are always non-finite. So now here our subject is I, and with the subject the agreement first verb is have. So what do you think? Which is finite or which is non-finite? Well, I think you have understood now. Have is finite and asked is non-finite. It means this asked is not the past form. This asked is past participle. Very clear. So with the subject agreement, we use only, again I tell, we use only finite verb. We do not use direct the first form with the subject, and rest of the verb are always non-finite. Second thing, if once a finite can be used once in a sentence, once in a sentence means in a sentence only one finite can be used, and rest of the verbs non-finites can be repeated. Non-finites can be 2, 3, 4, but in a sentence finite will be only one, and that comes at the first place of a sentence. So here have is finite, this is non-finite, this is finite, this is NF, non-finite. Means subject verb agreement, subject always makes agreement with the finite verb, okay. Or I am using the term finite and non-finite, you need not confuse, you can call them the present and the past forms for your better understanding. Now see the next. Well, I should ask, I should ask. Again the situation is same. Here ask, one is ask, here ask, and one is here infinitive. See, this is infinitive, this is to infinitive. So ask, this ask present form, this ask infinitive form, both are same, looking alike, okay. Now again the situation is confusing. Here you may confuse, oh that this ask is either it is present form or infinitive form, but I think now everything is clear. What I told, this ask, just see, is this the first form in the sentence? No, already should is there. Is this with the subject? No. So how this ask can be finite verb? Very simple. So now this ask is not finite, this is non-finite. So this is non-finite. So with subject agreement is with should. So now this is finite, okay, and this ask is non-finite. Now next, I do not ask. Again the same situation. This ask is not with the subject. This ask is not the first verb in the sentence. The first is would do. So this ask is here, do is finite and ask is non-finite. Now again this is a question. Now see, do you ask? Do you ask? Now you can see that with the subject we have used ask with the subject. Here little bit you have to just think, this ask is with the subject, but is this the first form in the sentence? No. Before it we have the verb do, the question verb do. So the first verb is do and this is ask. So this is finite and this is non-finite. So very easy to understand. The first verb in a sentence is always finite verb, or you can call them present or the past, and thereafter we use the non-finite verbs. And in a sentence, finite can be used only once, and non-finite can be used twice, thrice or 4 times. So here do is finite and this is non-finite. Non-finite means this is infinitive, this verb, and this is infinitive, here infinitive. This non-finite was past participle, past participle. So now students, this is about subject and the verb agreement. So now it will help you sometimes to write the sentences, or when you speak the English sentences, you must think one thing in mind, that with subject it can be I, he, she, we, you, they, my parents, this table, this chair, my city, my mobile, any subject. You can use only finite verb, either present or the past form with the subject. So it will help you while you write anything or you speak anything. Grammatically this thing will make your English more correct. So you will not be using in life that suppose I asked. Fortunately this sentence is correct because this asked and this asked same. So when you say I asked, it means it is not this asked, it is this past form, not past participle. When you say I have asked, so when you say I have asked, it means you are using this form, asked. So suppose I take one more example of some verb which has all the 3 forms different, like write, wrote or written, writing, write. So students, this way you can write all the 5 forms of any verb. You can make this table and this will help you in writing and speaking. So again say, so when you speak or write, how this format will help you in writing and speaking. So you can say I write, you can say I wrote, but you cannot say I written. Have you seen any sentence starting with I written? This will be incorrect, because with I we cannot use non-finite verb, and this comes in the non-finite verb. It means this is in the past participle form. And you will not see any sentence written like I writing. No, this is wrong. I writing. No, we cannot make this sentence I writing, because with I we need finite verb, and in finite there is no writing such a form. We do not use with the subject non-finite verbs. Again, sometimes you will see I write. Oh, you will say this is right, this is correct, this is I write. But what I told, this right and this right are same. Do not confuse with this and this. When you say I write, it means right is not this, that is this right. When you say I play, it means I play, this is present form, not infinitive form. When you say I ask, so this ask is not this infinitive form, this is present form, because looking wise both are same, but how we identify a word with the place it is used, with the subject or with the word. So for that this makes very clear when you write the sentences. So you cannot use I go, you can say I go, I went, but you will not be using I gone. I gone, this is wrong. You cannot say I going, this is wrong. You can say I to go, this is wrong. So use wise we have learnt the use of finite and non-finite verb, and on the other part in subject and verb agreement I have explained how we use finite verb with the subjects. Now somewhat we go ahead in this topic. So there is use of singular and the plural forms of the verbs. How? You must have read about the nouns singular or plural. You must have heard singular noun, plural noun, but you may not have heard about the verb singular or plural. Now I am telling you, verbs are also singular or plural according to the use. How? See, with the singular subject we use like when we use the verb we use the plural form of verb. Just opposite, when subject is plural, we use the agreement singular form of verb. Okay, how? Well, so when we use, how I tell you, we use the present the singular and plural form. Sometimes see one verb I write make and makes. These both are present form, and this is plural, this is singular according to the use, because we have added see s or es, but this is already added. These are two forms, we do not use any s or es. These are two words. For the understanding, for the children, to make them more easy, we tell that we use s or es. These are present form, both are present forms. So when I say I, so which form I will use? I is plural, so we use the singular. This is singular, so I make. Okay, when I write I make, when I write he means singular subject. Okay, with singular subject, plural form of verb. So here this is plural form of verb, so we write he makes or she makes. Okay, we make. Okay, they is plural, so plural subject and singular form of verb means they make. Well, these are the agreements according to the singular or the plural numbers of the subject. So one more thing, when we see s or es with the noun, it makes plural. When we see s or es with the verb, it makes it singular. Now for example, you say bag, bag is a noun. If you add s, so it makes bags. So this is singular, this is plural. But on the other hand, with verb make, makes, so according to I write here one verb also. So go, goes. This word noun, this is verb, this is singular, this is plural. But verb, this is singular, this is singular, this is plural. So this is singular, this is plural. So go, goes. So now see, bag, bags, go, goes. But when we use them, so I is plural number. So with plural number we use singular form. This is singular form. Okay. He makes. So he is singular subject. We use plural form of verb. So we say I go, he goes, she goes, we go, they go. So this is verb and subject agreement, and we have now talked about the finite verbs and non-finite verbs, the use of finite and non-finite verbs, and one more, how we use the singular and plural verbs with the singular and plural subjects. Now we will continue this video, we will continue this subject and verb agreement topic in next video. By the time you just revise these things and try to understand, and whatever the book, grammar book you have been assigned, you just find this topic in that book and try to understand the use of subject and verb agreement. Thank you so much. And as a homework, you just write at least 20 verbs in 5 forms, whichever you find easy, 20 verbs in 5 forms. So when we continue the class, it will help you to use singular or plural use of the verbs. Thank you so much. Have a good day.